Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be working on the Norden, and this is something I am not looking forward to. Let me share with you what is going on. This bike only has about 2,800 miles on it. I don't ride it often. I do commute on it in the summer here, which is about, I don't know, 3 or 4 months out of the year. And that's usually what I ride it for, or for pleasure. I started noticing in the mornings a spattering of fluids in this area right here. And I did some looking around in here with a dental mirror, and there's something up in that area there that is leaking. And in order to get to it, of course, you've got to take the fuel tanks. Or the fuel tank. It's one tank, but it's on both sides of the bike. You got to take those off to get to that area. I brought the bike into the dealership, and their answer was, it's not that big of a deal. Let's just wait until the next service and then we'll take a look at it. Well, I didn't like that answer, so I want to know what's going on, because I don't like riding the bike and smelling coolant while I'm riding. So I'm not going to show you guys how to take this bike apart. That's the part I'm dreading. A lot of people on the forums say it's pretty easy once you've done it a couple times. I've never done it before. There's a YouTube video that I watched of a company that shows you how to do it. I've also got the repair manual set up on a laptop here. And worst case scenario, I bought a valve cover gasket. If that is oil that's coming out and it needs to be fixed, I have one on hand. This is the part number for the valve cover gasket on a 2023 Norden 901. They're about 20 bucks on eBay. But I have that on hand in case I find something in there that I need to replace that valve cover gasket. I'm going to go along in steps here. Once I get this torn apart, I will show you what I find, and maybe it will help some of you that might have something similar going on. But yeah, I'm not going to show the whole time-lapse process of taking the bike apart. That would be obnoxious and ridiculous. So anyhow, let's get started. Well, it wasn't as bad as I made it out to be. And good news, we figured out we've got a little combination leak going on here. You guys see this? It looks like the half moons are leaking. And I looked at the repair manual, and you're supposed to put Permatex on there. Let's see if I have any of that stuff. Yeah, you're supposed to put like Permatex on that gasket before you put it on. And I am not seeing any Permatex on this gasket, so maybe somebody at the factory just put it on without Permatex. The other issue is we do have a coolant leak as well. And it's coming from this hose clamp right here on the back side of this fitting. Now, on some of the forums, people have mentioned that this flange that goes up inside here may still have a factory casting on it that causes this leak, or this hose clamp itself might just be loose. I want to take that apart, drain the coolant out, and check that, but I'm I'm hesitant to do that. I'm going to use an old trick that I learned, which is basically I'm going to take this hose clamp off, and I'm going to put a different hose clamp on it. But before I do that, I'm going to rotate this ever so slightly and then clamp it down and see if that fixes our slight leak. I'm also, before I take it off, I'm going to check the tightness of it and see if it in fact is loose. Alternatively, I'm going to look in the service manual and see what it's going to take to drain the coolant out, and just pull that hose off and take a look at that flange and make sure nothing's causing problems with it. But yeah, so these seem to be some pretty simple fixes. Got to do the valve gasket and this little radiator hose issue. So I'm going to start working on that. Alright guys, here's what I ended up doing. I took off the old factory hose clamps and I put Breeze clamps in there. They're a stainless steel hose clamp with a liner on it, so the worm gear cutouts don't bite into the hose and then put uneven pressure on it. It's actually got a sliding sleeve inside of it, and I put those on there and I torqued the bejesus out of them. Up here, I took a closer look at this, and I think that was just from the initial break-in period on the bike. So I wiped them clean, and then I put some Sil Glide on the actual half moons. And what this stuff does is it's a seal rejuvenator, and it helps sometimes if you have like a leak on something. If you put that stuff on there and then keep driving it, the heat cycling will draw that oil into the seal and make it expand a little bit. So fingers crossed that will alleviate that problem. Now all I have to do is get all this crap put back on the bike, double check all my connections and everything, and then we should be finished with this. That was a simple fix. I'm glad it's not like the head gasket or something like that. That would have been brutal to wait on a warranty issue to fix that. But yeah, 2 Breeze clamps, and I think we're gonna be set. And I'm gonna double check the other clamps too to make sure that they're tight before I put it back together. And like that, the bike is put back together. I will let you guys know in a future video how this is holding up. I will also leave a link in the description for those Breeze clamps should you want to do the same modification. Maybe you're having a similar leak in the same spot. And I'm just gonna monitor it and keep an eye on it. What else can I tell you? Oh, now I have a spare valve cover gasket. If that valve cover does decide to leak again, I'll be able to replace that at a future time. But that actually wasn't too bad. I was very apprehensive of taking the bike apart like that, but it was pretty simple. And you shouldn't be afraid to try and do some of this work yourself, rather than have a shop do it and you pay, you know, a couple $100 an hour for it. But other than that, I think that's probably going to be it for this episode, guys. If you like this episode, give me a thumbs up. If you're not subscribed yet, I'd love to have you as a subscriber. You're going to want to stay tuned. I'm pretty sure the next video is going to have something to do with this right here. So, but other than that, I hope you guys are staying safe, taking care of each other, and as always, I will catch you next time. See you later. Bye-bye.